Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Lumi Summit. This is a global effort by the State of the African Diaspora, SOAD, and we are so happy to have you with us today. Once again, we have arranged a cadre of professional, profound, provocative, and informative speakers who are able to guide us through our understanding of the Lumi and our use of the Lumi. And the Lumi, of course, is the official currency of SOAD, the State of the African Diaspora. We are so pleased to be able to welcome today not only the creator of the Lumi, but also the creator of the platform which will host and which has been hosting, which has been ensuring that people across the world, our people across the world, are able to uh, join in, get their Lumi wallets, begin the march toward what we believe is a pivotal foundational necessity as we establish ourselves as true Pan-Africanists with an intention to lift up the motherland of Africa. My name is DeAndre Hamilton. I am in Turks and Caicos at this very moment. I'm originally from the Bahamas. I'm the Member of Parliament elect for the TCI, which is the Turks and Caicos Islands. And if you don't know where that is, it's in the Caribbean region, just southeast of the Bahama chain of islands. By profession, I'm a journalist. And so, yes, I love talking, I love smiling, I love greeting, I love hearing, I love learning. And so let us all brace ourselves for what will truly be a learning experience. If you have a friend who has not yet heard about the Lumi, not yet signed on, this is a great time for you to have them plug into our summit. If you have someone who is not yet acquainted with, associated with, or a citizen of the State of the African Diaspora, this is a great opportunity for them to come in and hear about our currency and how we plan to move forward as a bona fide nation. We're not playing around. This is serious business. We've got serious plans and we've got serious people. Let's say hello in case you're joining us now. We would love to welcome people. Our participants today so far are from cities and countries across the globe. We have Atlanta, Georgia, USA in the house. Lesotho is with us, Reunion Island, Panama, Brazil, Jamaica, the Bahamas, London, the Turks and Caicos Islands, Liberia, Zimbabwe, and our president of SOAD is in Paris, but he never wants us ever to forget his home original country of Martinique, also in the Caribbean. So welcome to everybody. We're going to move right now, I believe, fluidly on to our leader, the great Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Louis Georges Tin, who is the Prime Minister, or Mr. PM, as many of us call him, of the State of the African Diaspora, SOAD. And he is going to officially open our Lumi Summit today. Mr. Prime Minister.
Greetings. Thank you very much, dear spokesperson of the government, dear vice prime ministers, dear ministers, ambassadors, members of parliament, excellencies. Thank you to all of you. It's always a pleasure to be with you to explain what we're doing, what we have achieved, and what we will be able to achieve thanks to you. The Lumi Summit is about our currency. This currency was created in the sovereign nation of Accompong, Jamaica. You know, this nation became a sovereign nation in 1739 after these slaves, who were free people, were able to defeat the British troops of Her Majesty. They were so strong, they became independent, and today, one of their sons has created the Lumi, which I can say is the continuation of a fight. After the fight for liberty, now is the fight for prosperity. And there is no prosperity without freedom, and there is no real freedom without a kind of prosperity. So this currency is very important to us. In some countries in Africa, people are still living under the CFA, C standing for colonies. In other countries in Africa, people have their dollar, which of course refers to the United States, which means they are under the United States. So you cannot be really a sovereign nation where your finances are controlled by somebody else, somebody who used to be the imperial nation or the colonial nation. So many people criticize these colonial or imperial currencies. That is fine. To criticize them is okay. To replace them is better. And that is actually what we are doing here today with the Lumi. So, just to explain to you why it's so crucial to have our own currency, let me tell you about a very interesting survey that was made a few years ago in the United States. People found out that when a Chinese person in United States has $100, this money will remain in the Chinese community for 28 days. When the person wants to eat, he or she will go to the Chinese restaurant. When the person wants to go to the doctor, he or she will go to the Chinese doctor. When the person wants to have clothes, he or she will go to the Chinese tailor. So the money will remain in Chinatown for at least 28 days before it actually vanishes in the rest of the country. When a person of African descent in the United States has $100, the money remains in the African community for 6 hours. 6 hours, not 28 days, 6 hours. Why is it so? Because when the person is hungry, he will go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. When he needs some shoes, he will go to buy some Nike shoes, etc., etc. And of course, none of these companies is black owned. So it's not a problem of poverty. If we had more money, we would give more money to the other communities. So it's not a problem of poverty, it's a problem of mindset. We need to understand that we have to make business, firstly, with our brothers and sisters. According to other studies, when $1 is spent from a person of African descent in the United States, only 2 cents of his money come back to the African American community. So we do not support ourselves. We do not support ourselves. And if we do not support ourselves, who is going to support us? Who shall we expect to support us? So we need, of course, to have this culture of self-help. People say we need to vote. Yes, that's true. We need to vote. But you need to remember that you will vote perhaps every year or every 2 years or every 3 years, every 4 or 5 years, depending on the rhythm, the calendar of elections. But in fact, when you use your wallet, you do that every day and you vote with your wallet every day, but you don't realize. So probably you have more impact on the world with your wallet rather than with your ballot. So vote every 2 or 3 years, that's fine, but vote with your wallet every day, which is even better. You have a capacity to decide who you are going to empower. Are you going to empower your brother or somebody else? And when you need some support and you go and see your brother, but your brother is as poor as you because you never gave him your support and he never gave you your support. So you're both very, very stressed and poor, and nobody can do or doesn't want to do anything for you, and you never did anything for yourself. That's why the Lumi was designed in that way. As you already know, The currency is mainly diffused through our Pan-African communities. As you will learn, different kinds of stimuluses are available for citizens, for businesses, for NGOs. So if you are a citizen, an NGO, or a business, you can have access to this stimulus. The details will be explained to you a bit later. But to have the money is important, but to know where to spend it is even more important. A currency is a language or a tool of communication. It's like a phone. You may have the most up-to-date phone. It's wonderful. But if you are the only guy on the planet who has a phone, there is nothing you can do. You need somebody to speak to. So to establish a line of communication, you need to have somebody who is speaking and somebody who is hearing, somebody who has a phone to call and somebody who has a phone to answer. That is the same thing and the same mechanism with the Lumi. We need to have consumers who have Lumis to spend, and we need to have businesses who have their account in Lumi accepting Lumi. So that's why we support both consumers and businesses. And at the moment, I can tell you we have different people around us in our network who are building markets, Lumi markets. And when I say markets, I'm speaking of physical markets or digital markets. So physical markets, for example, in different places in Southern Africa. We've got one of our MPs who is working to create this kind of markets everywhere, where Lumi will be not only accepted, but promoted. So people will be able to buy and sell food through the currency. That's a beautiful project. But also digital markets. We've got also different people in our network who are now establishing or have already established different digital markets where you can buy and sell in Lumi. So the currency is in existence, but the market is also in existence. So you see, the idea is really to create something which will only reinforce the treaty that was signed and became effective a few weeks ago about the free trade agreement. I think you all heard about this free trade agreement that has created the biggest area in the world. Well, why is it so necessary? Because a country like Benin, so far, used to make more business with France than with Togo, which is the neighbor country. They have the same people, the same ethnicity, the same traditions, but their habits and their drive is more connected to France, which is so far, rather than their neighbor and brother countries. So that needs to stop. People in Togo need to make more business with Benin and Benin with Togo rather than France. That doesn't make any sense. But now, the barrier do not exist anymore. The barriers are, over, they are history in a way. So the treaty is made to facilitate commercial transactions through these barriers. However, it's not enough. It's not because you don't have any barrier that people will be able, in fact, to transact. There are many obstacles, psychological obstacles, logistics, if there's not a road, for example. And the currency is also an obstacle. If you want to make business between Congo and Togo, though they have still the same CFA currency, you cannot convert one from the other one because one is Central Africa and the other one is Western Africa. So it's still the same colonial currency, but they are already divided. And if you think of the two Congos, they also have francs, but one was a Belgium property, the other one was a French property, so they cannot make business with their currency, though it's a franc. So their capitals are on the two sides of a river, Congo. You've got Brazzaville on one side, you've got Kinshasa on the other side. You've got the same people on both sides. They all have a franc, but it's a different franc. One from Belgium, the other one from France. They cannot exchange with the currency. You know, that's a kind of nightmare, a nightmare. That's why it's so crucial when people are just on two sides of a river. They need to have this bridge. And the bridge is called the Lumi. And you know that at a time when so many people want to build walls everywhere, people want to build more frontiers everywhere, the state of the African diaspora want to build bridges everywhere. Bridges in the world, especially between Africa and the diaspora. So this is exactly what we are doing here. We are building bridges among all these nations that DeAndrea Hamilton, our spokesperson, has mentioned at the beginning of this meeting. And you are like herself. All of you are spokespersons of Lumi. So she's our spokesperson in command, but all of you are entitled to be so. Akima is the head of a consulate general. She's our diplomat, you know, but all of you are our ambassadors. Mr. Gopru is the ambassador for 2020, but all of you are, in fact, the missions, the voice, the face, the head, the hands, the everything for today, tomorrow, and the days after. So I don't want to be too long, but I just want to say that we have a mission. The mission is to promote ourselves through the Lumi and through many other ways, but the Lumi is one of them. And of course, we are happy to explain to you how you will proceed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Well said, and way to really rally all of us behind what is happening here today. Once again, we'd like to say thank you and welcome to the Lumi Business Summit. We are happy to have you here. We are joined by delegates out of Switzerland, South Africa, the United Kingdom, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Scotland, Los Angeles, it's Swanee, and this one is completely new to me, so please forgive me if I don't get it correct. Mubwewa, am I right? Come on, Dr. Tin. I know you're a professor. Teach me.
Oh, sorry, I cannot speak. My microphone was stopped.
But thank you all for being here today. We are happy to have you on board. We really do have an exciting lineup, as you can hear, for you today. And we will move right along to our next speaker. We would have been joined, usually we are, by Chief Timothy Sumeko I, who is the governor of the Central Solar Reserve Bank. But today, he's going to join us a bit later on. We turn to a very, alternatively, to a very capable woman, a very hardworking woman, none other than our Vice Prime Minister of SOAD, the Honorable Keturah Moken. Hello, Honorable Keturah, welcome.
Thank you so much, DeAndrea. Can everybody hear me? I know I'm having microphone issues. Can everybody hear me?
You sound fine.
Oh,
if you can go a bit louder, then I think that would be appreciated.
Can you hear me a bit louder now? I know I'm certainly having issues here, but my apologies. But if you can hear me just a little, that would be great. Thank you very much. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to our distinguished guests, any kings and queens in the room. Your honorable welcome to our visitors from all over the world. Prime Minister, thank you so much. And VPMs and all our SOAD government. Thank you very much for joining us yet again today. I'm just going to speak on behalf of Chief Sumeko, and hopefully he will join us later. And I will sort of briefly go through what the Lumi is and where we are now in terms of the Lumi. And so what I would like to do is just to share my screen a little, if I may. And just to give you a very brief background, and I'm sure all of you know, but for those who are here for the first time, can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
We can see it, Katora.
Thank you very much. So yes, so the Lumi started its humble beginnings in the sovereign nation of the Maroons in Accompong. And I believe it was around 2017 or 2014, 2017, when the physical Lumi bond was issued in the town of Accompong as their currency, as their sovereign currency. And as time developed, the finance minister, Chief Timothy McPherson Jr., created the digital version of the physical note. And that is what we have now on the Swifin platform, is the digital representation of the Lumi note itself. So just to give you, in terms of its usage currently, the currency is the currency of the regional economic community of the 6th region, or the ECO 6. And I'll just tell you what ECO 6 is. If you're still seeing my screen, you can see there are 5 regional economic communities on the continent. We've got region 1, which is North Africa, which is the Arab Maghreb Union. The South, region 2, South SADC. We've got the East, which is the East African community. We've got the West African community called ECOWAS, as you all know, and the Central Economic Community called ECAS. And the 6th region, and I'll just change my screen very quickly for you, so that to give you a visual representation. Bear with me 1 second. Can you see my screen, please? You see my screen, please, moderator?
Yes, yes, it's come up now.
Thank you very much. So the 6th region is the economic community of the 6th region of the African diaspora. Now, we have adopted the economic community is the Lumi is the currency of the economic community. As you can see at the top, that heads everything is the African Union. And we've got the other 5 regional economic communities, North, East, South, West, Central. And of course, the African diaspora is the 6th region, of which we are under the banner of the economic community. And under that economic community, we have the states, which is like, for example, Brazil, the Federal Republic of Brazil, the Commonwealth of Dominica, the Republic of Haiti, etc. We've got the governments under the 6th region, or the ECO 6. Of course, the state of the African diaspora is a member state. We've got Grenada, we've got Guadeloupe, we've got Jamaica. We've got the African territories and realms, like the Quilombos of Brazil, the Maroons, of course, of Jamaica, the San Basilio of Palenque in Colombia. We also have the nations of the diaspora, for example, the nation of Israel or the nation of Islam as examples. And of course, we've also have the Pan-African organizations, NGOs, which is the civil society under the economic community. So that's more small, medium, and large Pan-African organization and NGOs. And they will be organized under a body of the ECO 6 Civil Society Council. And looking after all of those bodies is the ECO 6 Secretariat. And to be identified as belonging to the 6th region, you will be issued with, or people will be issued with, the ID card for the economic community. And this will distinguish us from the rest of the diaspora who may not wish to be represented as being a part of the African Union. So this will distinguish us in our method of working, but also in terms of the dissemination and use of the Lumi, that this is an economic community, the 6th region currency. So I'm just going to switch back. Thank you. If you're still seeing my screen.
Yes, your screen's coming up. Hasn't come up yet.
Okay.
It is now, Vice Prime Minister.
Thank you. So thank you very much. So you've just explained the economic community of the 6th region. So I'll just move quickly along. So the ECHO 6 headquarters is in the Maroon Territories on the island of Jamaica. And we are currently, as you know, entering, and the buzzword is this 4th industrial revolution, the reset. And we launched the currency at the African Kingdoms Federation Summit last year, September. And it was a global reset that the African kingdoms would adopt the Lumi within their kingdom for economic development. And so the Lumi is also being disseminated through the African kingdoms so that it reaches the people. And that reset was the issuance of a stimulus. And that stimulus was a $6 trillion stimulus that is issued to every African on the diaspora, in the diaspora, and every African on the continent to receive $100 worth of Lumi in their Lumi wallet for the next 3 years. What does that do? That means that they will be, we are now kickstarting an economy in the Lumi across the world. Sorry, my mind's gone blank. So the Lumi, rather than, sorry, let me just go back slightly. So the Lumi is actually based or backed or supported by solar energy. And now we've got the technology that solar energy can be captured into liquid hydrogen and packaged and stored. And when you can package and can store a commodity, you package and store sunlight or energy, it actually becomes a commodity just like oil. And now once you can package the energy, it actually becomes an instrument that you can raise financing. And so the Lumi is actually backed by solar renewable energy that can be packaged, transported, and used. So one Lumi currently is at the value of 100 kilowatts of solar energy, which equates to, in US dollars, $15.96 to 1 Lumi. And the Lumi is also pegged to the price of gold, which is 0.2592 grams of gold. So our currency is very, very valuable because, as you know, fiat currency has no value. It's not backed by anything, but it's just become a method and an agreement of exchange and does not actually have any instruments backing those currencies. So every month for the next 3 years, every African on the continent and every African in the diaspora will receive $100 worth of Lumi on the 28th day of each month. And what's also possible to have, and what is open to the businesses, and this is why we have this business summit, is that we are encouraging the business to be able to accept the Lumi as payment, as part payment, and of course in full payment as time goes on, to really have the Lumi the #1 de facto currency across the world. And so the businesses have the opportunity to have a line of credit at the value of $10,000 US worth of Lumi to be able to stimulate that market with the merchant suppliers, the whole value chain, so that the Lumi can become in circulation very easily and very quickly. And also our customers or the people across the world, the civil society, will have a place to spend their Lumi. So the Lumi has been, like I said, in distribution since September last year. I believe, I'm sure Dr. Linus will correct me, he's just to follow up shortly, that I believe we're in 102 countries, it may be more, with over, I think Dr. Linus should give us the figures, but I believe it's well over 100,000 signed up users on the SwiftIn platform. And so I will round up here and pass the reins to back to our moderator, our wonderful DeAndrea, to introduce Dr. Linus, who will then show you how to start to take advantage of receiving your 100 Lumi stimulus every month for the next 3 years. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Katora. Just going to put Deandra back online. Take your mic off, Deandra. Have you been able to do that? Unmute yourself.
There we go. Okay, thank you very much. Very great presentation as we get a historical sketch and background on the origins of the Lumi. And again, in his absence, we do thank Chief Timothy Semeko I for such a brilliant, brilliant concept that has come to life. And now we take it to another brilliant man. I love hearing him present as well. He's going to school us on how we actually tap in to these resources. He is the creator of the platform, which allows us to establish our Lumi wallet and begin receiving our stimulus either as a business or a philanthropic organization or as individuals. And that goes to none other than the great, yes, I'm calling you that. I know he's feeling shy at this moment. He's a very humble guy, Dr. Linus Itube, who is the founder of Swiffin. Dr. Linus.
Okay, thank you. My apologies for the late arrival and juggling far too many things today. My most sincere apologies. What I'm going to do is just play 3 or 4 video clips. The first one would just be the concept on the role of the Swiffin platform in rolling out the Lumi and the role of the Lumi in solving the multi-currency problem across the African continent in order to drive financial inclusion and drive access to financial services for everyone, and also create the opportunity to operationalize the Africa Free Trade Area in order to unlock opportunities there. That'll be the first video. And then I'll play the next one on how you can actually create an account on the platform. And then the third one would be on how to access the Lumi credit line. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm just going to play those videos and I'll go on mute for the majority of the time. My apologies. Thanks. So I'll go with the first one.
Dr. Linus, you're going to share the screen?
Yes, I'm going to share the screen. Yes, thank you. That's it, done. Now let's see. That's not coming up quickly enough. Sorry. Slow, it's not coming up somehow. This is slower. It looks like my internet connection is slower than usual today, but please just bear with me. It's coming up. According to recent World Bank data, there are over 1.7 billion people unbanked worldwide. In some countries within continental Africa, over 80% are unbanked. This means vast numbers of the 1.3 billion people across the continent are not able to effectively participate in the real economy. The result is poverty and misery of millions. Businesses and individuals are now faced with the biggest wealth creation opportunity the African continent has ever seen, through the introduction of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA. Given the challenges of financial inclusion across the continent, there is an unprecedented opportunity to use innovative technology which brings together individuals, communities, financial institutions, and businesses into a real-time transaction ecosystem. We must operationalize the AFCFTA to unlock the opportunities that the AFCFTA brings. We must ensure access to all, and we must address the more than 40 or so different local currencies across the continent which remain a huge impediment to trade. Welcome to the SWIFT platform and the Eco6 Lumi. The future is now. Okay, the key point here really is, I think we are all very familiar with the issues of exclusion. And so we need to move into a new paradigm where access is possible, and it is possible to deliver access to everyone to participate in the real economy. And so the concept behind the SWIFT platform is an open distributed ecosystem where stakeholders within the economy can come together in a real-time transaction exchange in order to exchange value with each other as they exchange goods, services, and other assets. One of the challenges that has always been within continental Africa is the existence of over 40 different currencies, which make it very difficult for somebody in Nigeria to send a payment conveniently and easily to somebody in South Africa or to Uganda or Sierra Leone. In order to drive trade between the different countries within continental Africa and the African diaspora, we really need to leverage on a common medium of exchange. And that's where the Lumi comes in as a currency that stands to represent the reserve currency for continental Africa and pave the way for countries within continental Africa to trade with themselves more efficiently and also with the diaspora. Now, the next video I'm going to show you is how to actually create an account. It's very slow today. Okay. Just bear with me. My internet is rather slow today. I haven't seen it like this for, in fact, ever. So how to access the drawdown, that's not the one. How to register an account. So let's look at that. So this is about reaching out to everyone. And there are channels to transact on the Swift platform. For those that are able to get online, they can come online. Those with a smartphone can install the mobile app and they can use that. If you don't have a smartphone, there is an SMS channel that you can use, and you can send one SMS to transact, to authorize payments, request payments from other people. There's a QR code which you can simply scan to identify your account in order to make payments or receive payments. And with that kind of ecosystem, which enables people to use the devices that they have to engage in executing transactions, we believe that we have the capacity and the potential to reach everybody. So that as we talk about the reset, that reset can truly include everyone without anyone being excluded from participating in one of the biggest wealth creation opportunities that the continent has ever seen. I'm now going to show you another quick video on how to access the credit line. Once your account is activated, I would like to add at this point that the account goes through a verification process. So it may stay in a pending state at the time you create it for some time. Just be patient and keep checking on the status, on the account status. Once it's activated, you will see that it's activated and you can then be able to make payments. But once it's created, you will be able to receive your stimulus payment, which goes out on the 28th of every month, precisely. And that started on the 1st of October last year and will run for 36 months from that date. And it's the equivalent of 6.26 Lumi, which is about $100, depending on the exchange rate. In addition to the stimulus that is paid to every individual, both within continental Africa and the African diaspora, there is a credit line facility of up to $10,000 equivalent in Lumi, which can be accessed at any time at your convenience, direct from the Central Solar Reserve Bank. So the next clip I'm going to show you is how to access that. And then towards the end, we may have the opportunity to answer some questions. And if people want perhaps a demonstration of how to make a payment live. So I'll go to the next clip immediately without delay. Before I play this, I think we are all familiar with the need to eradicate poverty, or at the very least, reduce it in our time. Unemployment is rife in many countries, particularly during this time of COVID. And of course, the issue of exclusion from financial services. These are the three key areas that are addressed by a combination of using the Swift platform, which is an accessible technology to deliver financial services to everyone, and the Lumi, which is the currency that we can all trade and exchange value with across the continent and across the African diaspora. So this is about the stimulus and how to access the credit line, the additional credit line for businesses. We must use technology to deliver access to digital financial services differently and support businesses to fight poverty, fight unemployment, and fight exclusion from financial services. To access the Lumi credit line direct from the Central Solar Reserve Bank now, get online. You can register now if you do not already have an account. Click on Banking. Then click on Payment to Self and select AKL Credit. Enter the amount, upload any supporting documents, and describe the use of funds. Read and confirm agreement to the terms of use of the credit line. That's it. You can check the transaction details and see that the funds are available in your account and ready to use to drive your business goals. Together, we can improve financial inclusion globally. Together, we can reach millions. We can fight poverty, unemployment, and unequal access. We can change millions of lives in our time. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Deandra. I want to stop sharing my screen. And apologies for the slow start and the slow. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Linus. Yeah, we do have the internet challenges, and I'm certain everybody does understand that that happens from time to time. We do have a better understanding, though, of how we can actually register. People are asking for links to this video. And so if you would like to head into the chat and perhaps respond, direct individuals to where they can actually resource the videos so that they're able to share it with anyone who may need instruction beyond this moment. And as you know, we are recording the session. We are recording the summit today. And so it will also be available for sharing in future. Again, thank you to Dr. Linus Itube. He is the founder of Swiffin. He created this platform. And as we've heard, there are at least 100,000 people who have signed up for our Lumi, the official currency of SOAD. We move on now to Theo Chambers, who is the CEO of Pana Carib Business Solutions, Integrated Marketing Communications, and he's head of web development for the state of the African diaspora. Mr. Chambers, how are you? And welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes,
Great.
we can, sir. Yes.
I want to share my screen. Let me see if I'm allowed to. Yes. And I just want to let you know, first of all, I'd like to show you what our e-commerce platform, can you see this screen? Are you seeing the Lumi Marketplace?
Yes.
Good. This is what the Lumi Marketplace look like. You can purchase jewelry, health and wellness services using the Lumi. You can get food. You can also buy clothes on our marketplace. To give an example, on the health and wellness, you'll be able to get cuisine, essential energy, food, juices, also organic products by using your Lumi. If you're looking for books, on the books, you can get audio books, cuisine, entrepreneurship, self-development. You also have spiritual and religious books. You can get all of those using your Lumi. If you scroll down to fashion, On the fashion, you can get African clothes, chef uniforms, children clothing, men's clothes, women clothes, and this is just a sample of all the things you can buy with your Lumi. Agriculture, you can rent or buy farming equipment. You can get farming technology to help you with your farming, fertilizers, and seeds. There will be a listing once you click this with all the different companies that provide these services that accept Lumi. Since we deal with energy and vibration, biodegradable, we must be planet friendly. So if you have a restaurant, a business, you want to buy biodegradable boxes, cups, garbage bags, shopping bags, utensil that is biodegradable, guess what? Your Lumi is welcome because we will make sure these are all full with that. Herbs and botanical. Now, the Lumi is based on what? Solar, right? Here what we have. On the solar, you want to get dusk to dawn equipment, solar consultant, solar panel, solar water heater, street lights based on solar. Guess what? The Lumi is welcome. We're going to be in the marketplace. Printing. You need banners done for your companies. You need business cards done. You want to do embroidery to brand your company clothes. You need graphics and logo services done. You need printing supply for your company. Guess what? Lumi is welcome. Food. You want to talk to a farmer. You need flour. I don't care what type of flour. You want to get cassava flour. You want to get, any type of flour. You can get it right here because we will list those. You want to know which food market accept Lumi. It will be listed there. Grocery stores, organic food, restaurants, we got it listed. You want to buy soap, shea butter soap, black liquid soap, broccoli butter, just a sample of the things that you can. I see you smiling. You're enjoying this, huh? Aromatherapy, essential oils, arts and craft. You want to buy African cheer basket, African arts, dolls, fans. Guess what? Lumi is welcome. We are just as big or even bigger than Amazon when we finish. Oh, guess what? You just had an accident. You need a body repair job. You can get it done. You need insurance for your car. We have those listed. You need a mechanic to fix your car in your country, your neighborhood. We got those listed. You need auto parts, or you need to just rent a car short minute. We got listed of all of those all over the world. It will be there. Construction, you need construction business. You need an architect or engineers. Guess what? You come to the right place. Lumi Marketplace got it. You need construction laborers. You need equipment to rent. We can help you. You need hardware supplies. We got it. You need a land surveyor who accept Lumi. We got those also ready for you. Travel and tourism. You need a hotel to rent. You need a restaurant to eat. You just want to get a spa service. You need to go on a tour or attraction, you and the family. Or you need to rent a private jet or luxury car. Guess what? We accept Lumi in all those places. Business product and services. You need business consultant. You need your business plan done. You need software, accounting software, CRM, all of those software. We got companies that will accept our Lumi. You need office supplies, chairs, cabinet, registrar. You got it. You need training done, sales training. We got people who's ready to help you training. Web services. You want to go online with your products? We can help you right there. SEO, web hosting services, web security, website design. We got all those companies at your fingertip that want to make you feel, wow, I don't want to leave this site. This is where I want to be. If you look at this right here, I'm going to log out of this. Now, if I click register, you see what it said right here? Register as what? As a seller. You click yes. And when you fill out all of this, you can create your own company now and Lumi Marketplace, and it will get your company name, the products that you have, and we have a security system that none of your product will show up in the front page until it get approved by us. So that is the Lumi Marketplace, and I just want to take 1 minute just to show you one more item that is very important, that is part of the Lumi Marketplace, and it's called the Lumi Courses. And I just want to give you a short brief of that. With the Lumi Courses, you'll get training and Lumi shopping courses, how to develop your companies, tips and ideas, introduction to digital currency, what is digital currency is all about. You want to learn about family healing school with Miss Chung. All of that information is there at your fingertip. You want to learn about what is the introduction to citizenship of SWOT and ECO6. All the information that you want. If you scroll down, you'll see online courses. All these are courses ready for you to take. An example, if I click on digital courses, let me show you this. Look what comes up. Timothy McPherson and the new currency, the Lumi. If I click that,
the Lumi, a new currency from a small village in Western Jamaica, could help countries in the Caribbean, Africa, and the diaspora to realize their economic and sustainable.
This is all on the Lumi Courses. If I click on this right now, look at that. Just want to show you.
Why would the banks disrupt themselves by introducing a digital currency that would make it easier for consumers and businesses to disintermediate the banks? Well, the banks may not be the innovators. It may be that they are the reactors, that they will react when others innovate. And I'm sure that they've considered the trade-offs involved in whether to disrupt themselves by introducing digital currencies, or whether to wait and react when others introduce digital currencies. Right now, digital currency sounds very edgy and kind of alternative lifestyle, but it's becoming the mainstream. And so the banks, the largest banks in particular, are very aware of this. They're investing in the technology, and they will provide this service as soon as it's profitable enough, after considering.
Just giving you some ideas, some of the things that we have done on the training, so you know exactly what's coming. And also we have here.
Technology enablers are now there, and we're going to be making that transition, just as we are into self-driving cars, into things like digital currency transactions, without hardly even noticing it. For example, when you buy that cup of coffee at Starbucks and you pay on your mobile phone, it could be that the application program interface in your phone last week flipped from using your bank account to a payment system based on digital currencies. And you might have gotten a brief notice with 5 pages of fine print.
Just to give you an idea of what we are talking about here, I just want to show you one more thing. If I come here, so you saw the marketplace, and now you've seen the Lumi courses. And again, these are all different courses, and every day we're adding more courses that you can take. Also, under the Striffin platform, if you want to learn, and Linus did a fantastic job, what we have done here, an example, if I click this, it takes you now to an example what Linus showed you. But here we have the video, We show people what the passport or the ID is supposed to look like. They have all the written, the text, and if they click it, that's what they have right there. And last but not least, we have a lot of videos, a lot of training here for everyone to do. And then this take you straight to Swiffin registration form. And if you come down, here are some of the trainers and lecturers that we have listed on the Lumi training. These are some of the voices that you will hear during the entire presentation on the Lumi Courses.com. And this just gives you a bird's eye view of what Lumi Courses.com looks like, and also what Lumi Marketplace looks like. And I just want to close out by just bringing back the Lumi Marketplace one time. If you have any question, that's it. But this is the Rolls Royce of the e-commerce that is coming all over the world, branded Lumi. This is our baby, and it's a bird's eye view of what it looks like. And I'm open for your comments, questions, or feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Theo. We'll be taking questions at the end. So if anybody's got any questions, please put them into the chat box and specify you're addressing them to Theo, and we'll be taking questions at the end. Thank you, Theo.
You're welcome.
Again, thank you to you, Mr. Theo. Wow, what a presentation. I'm ready to go shopping. And you can see which areas interest me. I'm all about the aromatherapy and beautiful fragrances and natural products. So yeah, but maybe I'd need somebody to fix my car. I'm pretty good at not getting into accidents though. But it's great to see. And as you can see, many of you who have been into summits prior to today, we are using your questions and taking them as a springboard to cultivate the culture we need in order to create our own marketplace, our own spot to trade, to showcase our talents, abilities, products, services, and of course, using the Lumi to navigate and buy, save, or invest. Whatever it is we need to get done. So excellent that we have Theo Chambers, who is the head of web development of SOAD, and his team working on that. We go now to another very interesting young lady, Olivia Lindsay, out of Jamaica. She's the CEO of 876 On The Go 24/7, and she's going to talk to us a bit about how she's incorporating the Lumi into her business practice already. So, Mr. Chambers, you already have at least one person who is going to be registering her business on our platform there at SOAD. Olivia, how are you today?
Sorry, DeAndrea. Can you hear me? Olivia's running a little bit late. So if you wouldn't mind passing to the next speaker, that would be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, VPM. Okay, so we're going to move on to Black Links Global. And it's always great to hear from Pastor Audi Cummings. He's the ambassador for this global, as I said, organization. And so we move on to Pastor Audi and his team as we hear more about Black Links Global and its link to how we are moving toward a true Lumi world. Black Links? Yeah, looks like we are.
Thank you. Thank you, Deandra. And I just want to thank all of the actual wonderful and excellent speakers that have spoken before me in regards to what is happening with regards to SOAD and the Lumi. And I'm sure that you are as excited as I am. And I am the ambassador for Black Links Global, as introduced. And as the ambassador for Black Links Global, I want you to be able to understand the vision that is complementing the vision for the SOAD and the Lumi currency. And it is a monumental day in regards to what we as a people of African heritage have achieved, not only in Africa, but in the diaspora. Because we now, in regards to the Pan-Africanist vision, are able to realize the expanse of what Lumi and the currency is going to be able to do for us as a people. And what we have heard is some of the sad circumstances of the actual present currency only lasting 6 to 5 hours within our community, which is really unsatisfactory. However, in comparison to others who have their currency being retained within their economy up to weeks and even months. And so it is that upon this exciting, ecstatic wise, that we are fired up here in regard to Black Links Global, because as well as providing to our network globally of businesses and individuals, we are absolutely empowered and ecstatic that we can offer the Lumi and its 6 trillion stimulus to you that is enabling us to be economically empowered. And of course, in terms of Marcus Messiah Garvey and his Pan-Africanist vision that he had at the early 1900s, I feel that the opportunity and the gigantuan monumental position that we are in is to be able to realize that economically through the Lumi. And individually, we are able to take part in the $100 a month stimulus, which had originally started in the 1st of October last year. And every 28th of every month has been honored in regards to all those who have applied on the Swiffham platform for the $100 a month Lumi. And also the further incentive of how the Lumi is going to and is transforming business is in regards to the opportunity to be able to access a $10,000 Lumi to be able at interest-free to launch your business for some 3 years is amazing. This also goes further on, as we've heard Dr. Linus expound, that this can go on for larger sums with companies that have a larger turnover since their previous accounts has been submitted, and the Lumi grant, the Lumi loan, is able to proportionately match that and help to grow our economic base. And also what Dr. Linus was speaking about in terms of access. This enables our people who are unfortunately a part of the 80% that are unaccessed to now be accessed. And so the Swiffham platform becomes a near reality, enabling the actual aggregated total of our people to be able to increase not only our buying power individually, but also corporately, and more importantly, as a nation of people that make up 350 million, which is the second largest nation in the entire planet. And so it is that lots of people doing a little makes an extremely large amount of economic power that is going to make our actual nation great. And so it is that we as a people of African heritage who have now able to take part, and we've heard from Chief Timothy Samako, the first actual financial governor for the African Central Bank, expound the proportionate value of each Lumi backed by solar energy is equating to 4 grains of gold, where the regular fiat currency is just printed paper. And so the gigantuan manifestation of motivation that we can feel, knowing that we have the Rolls Royces of currencies to back our transformative move that we as a people of African heritage, not only in Africa, the continent, but also in the diaspora and under Region 6 for the Caribbean. Many like myself, whose parents may have come to London and would have been drawn economically. But today, me as the descendant of the diaspora is able to now, through the Lumi, we are able to realize our economic dreams. And it's just for our network at Black Links Global to be able to seize the opportunity that is clearly here. Lots of people doing a little makes an absolute gigantuan much. And it's this type of economic muscle that's going to enable us to be heard, understood, respected politically around the world because of the organization, the inclusiveness, the creativity of innovation in the way in which we are able to reach our people and our people are able to reach the Lumi, so that we are able to take our economic position in a race that we now have a superior vehicle in. And I just wanted to also read to you a scripture that came to me that I think is very succinct in terms of our mission and vision. And it says in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 10 to 14, I will be found by you, and I will bring you back from your captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places where I have driven you, and I will bring you to the place from which I caused you to be carried away captive. And many of us who have previously felt captivated by an economic hand that is clearly not representative of our vision that we know we are so capable of, today are completely emancipated in an economic truer sense, that we know we are able to stand. And having done all to stand, we can stand on the economic foundation of many of our people coming together to achieve that vision. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 to 3 says, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, so that he that readeth can run. For the vision is but yet for an appointed time. But when it shall speak, it shall not tarry. I repeat, not tarry. That vision that you have, and as you've heard from the previous presenter, that house, that car that you'd like to be able to acquire, Black Links Global, in our relationship with the SOAD, State of African Diaspora, through the Lumi economic superior currency, today has made that day real to you. So today is the day, the first day for the rest of our entire lives. We now can be able to wake, watch, and achieve, and be able to go where we know that we are able to go. Education, in terms of children, family, all of the cyclical components that make up an economy, in terms of the business and the government with the SOAD, and this cyclical form in way in which the economy grows through the economic Lumi, is today going to be truly understood by the programs of training that we can access online to be trained up in the basic fundamentals of economic power and might, because today is that day. Now is the time to seize the opportunity on every single platform that you have heard concerning SWIFN, State of African Diaspora, Black Links Global, and all of the others working together, SWIFN, to be able to make our dreams come true. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to encourage you. I want you to understand that there is no better standard than the standard of our own dreams and visions being realized, and that we are able, after so long being pulled back, able to let go like a catapult towards our strategic objective, to take our place rightly based upon the performance and the efforts of our own doing, through incentives of businesses, inviting businesses to use the Lumi, and you are also economically incentivized B2B. business to business, business to consumer, consumers now using a mighty currency that is far more positioned than the fiat currencies of the Wharton Agreement of 1947. But today it is a true breakthrough for those whose dreams are no longer, but they are coming true. There is dreams and there are goals. And when we put a date on it, it is a specificity that it's going to happen. Our tonality changes, our look changes, our walk changes. And as a people, we become a force to be reckoned with. So today, ladies and gentlemen, again, may I invite you to make your dreams come true. Thank you. Ambassador and Global Representative of Black Links Global, Audie Cummings. Thank you. I'll hand back to our moderator, Ms. Jemanja Hamilton.
Thank you so much, Pastor Audie. Always such a charged speech and speaker, and we appreciate your energy and your enthusiasm. It really helps us with our conviction. If any of us were on the fence and worry about what the potential is of the Lumi and our partnerships, our linkages, our networking, you definitely remove every cloud of doubt. We move on now as we progress quickly toward our question and answer period, which I know is really the highlight of the day, though we have so many wonderful presentations. And we go now to Errol Grant of Sun City Radio in Jamaica. He is also talking to us about how he has managed to incorporate or is planning to incorporate the Lumi into business and for consumer use within the wider Jamaica. Hello, Mr. Grant. Welcome to our summit. Glad to have you on board.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone in the summit. To our Honorable Prime Minister, thank you also for accommodating me. I'm feeling quite elated about it. And I must also say thanks to our Vice Prime Minister, Hugh Johnson, who has been keeping me up to date with everything that is going on in SOAD, and also encouraging me and giving me, building my confidence. In fact, I'm so confident in the Lumi that I don't even think about it, not even the Jamaican dollar anymore. That's how far I'm gone with it. And I'm trying to get other people to be as confident as I am to use the Lumi. Now, we are here at Sun City. We know we are radio, right? And there's only one question I'd like to ask, and if there is anyone who deals with broadcasting equipment, all of that kind of equipment, radio station equipment, because we would like to use the Lumi in that sphere for get, we want to update, we're still trying to grow, and we're hoping to be all our equipment that way. Now, I see the Lumi as the crown on all of us as Africans. Because if the Chinese have their money, the Japanese have theirs, the Mexicans have theirs, the British have theirs, the Americans have theirs, why can't we have ours? And I say, we as a people, and as Pastor just said, when we have our own, we walk different, we look different, we speak differently, because we're more confident in ourselves as a people. All right? Now, Sun City Radio would like to bear that confidence around the world. And what we want is for all our businesses and our friends to work along with us in spreading that word throughout the entire universe. That's where we are looking. And our aim is to broaden the scope in our minds as to how far we can go with this. How America spread their currency was the same way we are doing. After they had their American independence, they just started to spread their currency all over the earth. And that's how they gain power, right? That's how they gain value. Now, we are doing it at a much higher level. We should not stop at what we are doing at any time. Have no doubt, well, I'm kind of having some unstable internet connection now, but have no doubt about the power of the Lumi. It's a currency that has more than all other currencies. So it's a superior currency. And so I would encourage all other radio stations to come in now. And I think it's best that they come in now, right? And help it to grow and grow with it. Opportunities that I see with the Lumi, you don't see it with none of the financial institutions anywhere. The opportunities that are offered are not offered in the way they're offering it. It's that SWAD is offering it. You don't see them anywhere else. And so, with that in mind, it is a great feeling to see us coming together as a people that were divided to use one currency wherever we go. We are to create that impact that all financial institutions, wherever they are, will trade in our currency. That's what we want. Wherever we go, that's what we need. And so it is good to see so many great minds working together. I see us as the pioneers in spreading the Lumi and making it work. I see us as the pioneers together with Chief Samako and our Honorable SWAD government working together to make this the currency of the universe. Of course, Africa has all the raw material that the rest of the world is getting rich on. And it is good, it is very pleasing, it's also very encouraging to hear that we are now going to be doing our own manufacturing, that we are now going to be using our own natural resources. We will have it much easier on us because we'll be using our own currency to purchase our own products and to build ourselves, refurbish our businesses, grow our businesses, and grow our economies. We as African people, wherever we are on the continent or the diaspora, must come together. As it is now, we are seeing there's a war against us, a medical war against us, a biological war against us. And for us to overcome this, we have to be working together as a people. The Lumi is the main force to unite us. So we need to bear that in mind. We need to pass that knowledge on to those who have not yet been thinking of being part of us. We need to awake the reality in all of our people, brothers and sisters around the world, that this is where it is at. The American dollar is dying. A very deep, slow death because they are trying to hang on. The Lumi is rising. So which do we prefer, to die or to rise? So let us come together and let us spread that word. Let us move with the confidence and let them see the confidence coming out of us. I am happy for this summit, and I wish that this summit will continue and we will be able to spread the word everywhere we go. Everywhere I go, I talk about it. Even the man on the street, I'm talking to him, I'm telling him of the new currency that is coming to save us. And everybody wants to know. So if it is possible that we can also start to schedule town center meetings, or town hall meetings, right? Community meetings. If we can do that, even with the COVID-19 restrictions, we can still have community meetings. We just need to adhere to some of their regulations, as I say, right? But if we can start doing community groups, and get the word into the communities, start to get the community people to sign up to be registered with us, teach them the values, teach them the new values coming, and teach them of the opportunities coming for them, we would be covering a whole lot of grounds that way. And I think that will also help us to consolidate the entire country wherever we go. All right. And finally, I'd like to say again, whoops, it's going on and off there. I'd like to say again, thanks to all of you. Thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister. Thanks to Deandra. Boy, your voice keeps getting me, you know. It's such an encouraging voice to listen to. And your smile is also very, very, very encouraging. I am elated to find out now that I am part of a growing element of SOAD. I am elated to be a part of the pioneering group that's building, rebuilding, and reuniting Africa. My thoughts, I've never been to Africa, but I've been there.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm from, right? But I was born in Jamaica, but I'm from Africa. And it's Africa. I speak Africa every time. Wherever I go, I defend Africa, right? So I want to see Africa uniting. We are now having direct flights to Africa, which is good. And it's getting better. And we want to get the people out of the mindset of going to England, going to France, going to China. But let us now start getting the people to start thinking of going to Africa, uniting with Africa. So Sun City has already started, and we will be working with SOAD to spread the word around internationally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. What a testimony from Mr. Errol Grant, and definitely also an encouragement. And we go to another young lady who has a similar story out of Jamaica. The Jamaica State of the African Diaspora branch is truly on the move with the goal to get 1 million people on board in that country and to touch the region by extension, as Jamaica always does. We want to go now to our friend Olivia Lindsay. Olivia is the CEO of 876 On The Go 24/7. I guess it's her version, her cultivation, her concept of Uber. Is that correct, Olivia? It's better than Uber, I imagine.
Way better than Uber. Greetings, everyone from Jamaica.
Greetings, Olivia.
Hi. Yes,
tell us about your Lumi experience. Yes. And welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. Greetings to everyone. They call us the Jamaican Uber, but we're uniquely Jamaican. So we are the transportation and logistics solutions company here in Jamaica, the first approved rideshare company. And we are endorsed by the Ministry of Transport, and we work closely with the governing bodies. We provide transportation and logistics solutions for our people here in Jamaica, and by extension, persons who decide to use our service from overseas who interface with us through our 876 On The Go app, which is free in the Google Play Store and the App Store. So yes, we are big on the first movers advantage in that we are also the first transportation company here in Jamaica to accept the Lumi. So far, it has been great. We're excited, and we are now in our second stage of training. just to have everybody comfortable and familiar with the system, and to integrate it rather thoroughly with our current operations. We are also looking forward to expand. We've had quite a few expressions of interest, and we're looking to widen that scale in short order, hopefully. And persons already have started using their Lumi with our test runs. We've done some test runs and we see the exchange. Persons are pretty much excited, as I said before. We work closely with SOA Jamaica, who has been supporting us, and we have been engaging other stakeholders who also have an interest, and just to grow the platform and persons who come on board with us. If you are hearing me, I'm not hearing.
Yes, we're hearing you, Olivia.
Oh, okay. Yes. Peoples. That was my response to the question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if everybody.
Well, Olivia, do you have anything further you'd like to present to us? But yes, we did hear you. And it was really good for you
okay.
to describe your business and what you do and your uniquenesses and the Lumi's working and your thoughts about that. You know, how complicated has it been for you to actually get the Lumi incorporated?
Well, we didn't really have much complications because we have a great IT team, and we have not fully completed that process, so it's ongoing, but so far so good. The challenge though was with reimbursing persons who are unable to accept because of the lack of conversion or the exchange just yet. The challenge would have been just to reimburse our drivers, but with the new announcement, that should make our lives much more easier with just transferring and converting as we go along. Should that need arise, because we're not pushing for conversion, but should it be an option, we want that to be accessible to our customers worldwide.
Okay, thanks for that, Olivia. Deandra, are you having problems unmuting?
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, perhaps, I'm wondering.
Yes, I am. What happens, forgive me for the lags, but what happens is, yeah, I'm just having a little issue unmuting. So it seems my host has to unmute me.
Okay.
So thank you, host.
Oh, that's fine.
Olivia, is there anything else you'd love to share with us at this juncture?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Currently we're looking for a strategic partnership globally. I'll forward my contact details in the chat should anyone need to reach out. And we are very happy to be on board. We're looking forward, and it's really a great opportunity, especially within the diaspora. So we're hoping for the best, and we wish all the other existing businesses the best in this great venture ahead. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We are so proud of you, young lady.
Oh,
how many vehicles do you have on the road?
We have over 50, but with COVID though, it fluctuates. The activation fluctuates based on what's happening. So here in Jamaica, with the schools are out, we still have work from home going on. So it really depends, but we are seeing where things are now picking up from where it started when we were totally on a low. So we're hopeful, and as we go along, we're also increasing our numbers. So we give thanks for that.
Absolutely, congratulations!
Okay.
Can't wait to get to Jamaica so I can catch
can't wait.
an 876
on the go. Can't wait for you to come. Yes.
Yeah, 24/7.
My heart is in Africa too, so I can't wait to visit Africa. I've never been, but it's definitely on my to-do list. Yes.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Olivia
You're
Lindsay,
welcome.
again,
Thank you.
is similar to Sun City Radio, just one of the many companies, entrepreneurs, progressives, luminaries, we are calling them in Jamaica, who are definitely making the Lumi dream reality. And we're so happy that you're often always ready to share with us as an encouragement. And with that, we move on to another man who's also in Jamaica. He is none other than our second Vice Prime Minister of the State of the African Diaspora, SOAD, the Honorable Hugh. Yeah, Hugh Johnson, how are you?
Good day, Deandra.
Good day, good day.
My special lady who voice is so soothing that
oh man.
May I say to the honorable group in this house, Prime Minister Tin, Vice Prime Minister Ketrura, ministers, dignitaries, welcome to you all. And as I must say hi to my physician, naturopathic physician for decades, Ted Emmanuel. I can see you are in the house. Yield the man. I was asked to look on the integration of the Lumi as it relates to your business and even social society.
Listening in, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Let us come down to the brass tacks where the rubber hit the road. I must commend my businesses, associates, members of the team here in Jamaica, because I think they are doing a phenomenal job at it. For instance, I am a naturalist. I try to avoid synthetic chemical medication as much as possible. I've had serious health challenges over the last 20 years, and I utilize natural medication. For the last 3 months, all of my natural medication I've paid for in Lumi. Even as we have this advert promoting SOAD and Ego6 running on the Sun City radio station, it has been paid for in Lumi. A lot of activities are being done. As you would have seen just a while ago, Olivia, a superior service to Uber, they are accepting Lumi. There are gas stations accepting Lumi. It is for each of us to understand the dream of Marcus Garvey, to understand the dream of our forefathers. And because we are here at this juncture, a critical time, and we must be a part of this great movement. The leadership of SOAD, led by Prime Minister Tin, has been doing a tremendous job in getting out there to the populace, letting them understand that the power is in our hand. We applaud the great development of Chief Timothy for putting together this Lumi, which is the vehicle we are using to liberate ourselves, because Marcus Garvey said, political independence without economical independence is nothing. So we have been holding on to political independence for decades now, and we are just moving into the realms of economic independence. So each of us is just a microcosm of the whole. If we see ourselves as a link in this chain and pledge by God's grace for this chain not to break where I stand, we will have a circle, a complete circle. So with all the good work of Timothy, with all the good work of Prime Minister Tim and his team of SOAD leaders, we as community members need to get on board and to let it happen at the grassroots level. By one, this, if a lot of people aspiring to winning the lotto of probably 500 million US dollars, how can you win that lotto when you don't have a ticket? It's beyond me. The Swiffin platform is your ticket to this liberation. You, first of all, must be ensured that you are on it, and to encourage your family to be on it, encourage your community to be on it, and swell the throng. That is the only way that it's going to work for us. People would say, I'm just one man. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We will see flood, 2 hours of rain and flood would come down and wash away this great city. Just remember, this water, it came down in singular drops, one drops. So the notion is, together we'll achieve more. So I'll implore us all to, one, get registered. This is a gift. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. And as the great philosopher said, an opportunity of a lifetime, it must be seized within the lifetime of that opportunity. No opportunity stay a begging forever. You must seize that opportunity within the lifetime of that said opportunity. It is now. So, may I encourage you to be disciples of men. Jesus, one of the greatest teachers that has ever walked this earth by the scripture definition, he encouraged his disciples, because he alone could never do it, to go and make converts. So it is for us as individuals to first be convinced in our heart and pledge and will our heart to do it, to be a part of it, and to encourage all that we have influence over, because no matter how small you might think it is, you have influence over someone. Encourage, get that one on board, because irrespective of what we might say, I've been associated for decades with many politicians, political forces in this world. And I learned to realize that the greatest mover of politics is public opinion. They matter. That's the only thing that can get them to sit up. What the public believes, what the public will do. And remember, politics is a numbers game. So you need to have the numbers on your side. What it means, get as many persons as possible to be registered, and the rest will be history. Because once you have the numbers on your side, the powers that be will listen to you. So, without elaborating too far, may I wish for you and your group, your country, your parish, your community, all the success in getting your ticket to this dream, which is the real prosperity for our race. May God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you, Hugh Johnson, Vice Prime Minister for SOAD. We appreciate your words. For this particular section, I will be taking over. My name is Dennis Phillips. I'm the Minister for Communication for SOAD, and we've now reached our question and answer section. So if you've got any questions, please put your hands up, and we'll come to you in order. So I've got one person who's got their hands up at the moment. But before that, I want to check if you know how to put your hands up. How many of you have actually actual businesses online today? Can you put your hands up, those who have actually businesses on the Zoom chat today? Oh, I wasn't actually, okay. I know you're putting your hands up like this, sorry. I was the digital hand, the digital hand, if you know how to do that. Okay. Businesses. Okay, just trying to see for a feel in the room how many actual businesses are online. Okay. Oh, quite a few. Quite a few. So before we go into the question and answers, I just wanted to add something for the businesses to think about. All businesses, or most businesses, have some spare capacity. During the week, during the month, they've got some spare capacity. So why not think about allocating that spare capacity that you're not using anyway to Lumi Business? Go onto the Lumi marketplace, because when it's gone, it's gone. I'll give you an example. If there's a restaurant and you're only at 70% capacity, on the day that you've got 70% capacity, use the other 30% to have Lumi business come in. You get new customers coming in. So you're not losing anything. You've got new customers coming in, and you can use that Lumi for other Lumi businesses who are actually doing the same thing as you, whether it's a body shop or dry cleaners. They've got spare capacity, and they've got stuff that they're gonna be getting Lumi currency, which you can trade with them. It's just something that I thought, I think businesses should be thinking about using it. If you're a web developer and you might be working 4 days a week, 1 day a week, you can say, okay, I'll do a website for Lumi. Yeah. And then you might have someone who's a mechanic. He might have 1 day free that he will do stuff for Lumi. So you can pay the money that you got from that 1 day on your website that you're getting Lumi to pay for your car to be serviced. We got to be really creative in the way that we can use the currency. These are the things that will be coming in the next few weeks. We'll be putting programs together to get businesses to understand how they can use the Lumi now. Yeah. And you've also got $10,000 worth of Lumi credit to get you going to do that sort of thing. Get printing done, so a printer might have some spare capacity. They'll get the printing done. They get the Lumi back. Restaurants have got some spare time. The printer might take people out, business clients out for dinner. We start building our ecosystem like that. And these are the things that we're going to start talking about. How the Lumi can work for you. How the Lumi can work for you in the future. So it's just something I thought that I could, we could add and something for businesses to start thinking about. How we're going to get the Lumi, whether it's going to be converted. We don't have to think about that now. We can just say, okay, I've got this spare time. I'm going to use that, and that's my Lumi. I'm going to use that with the Lumi. I'm looking at a load of hands coming up now, so I'm going to go through in order, unmute, and just let us know your name, where you're from, and who you're pointing the question at.
Sorry, Akil, I think we should let everybody who were the businesses take their hand down, and then let everybody who wants to ask a question to put their hand up.
Yes.
Yes. So could all the businesses take their hand down? Unless you have a question, please could you leave your hand up? Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thanks, Katora, for reminding me about that. The first question is going to be from Cosmic 7. Cosmic 7. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, my name is Walter Canty. From Brooklyn, New York, in the United States. I just joined yesterday. The person that invited me was Nova Constant. And at first, when he told me about it, I said, "This is too good to be true." But because I know his wife and I known them for a long time and I trust them, I said, "Okay." So I just signed up yesterday. I got on the presentation. My background is in Wall Street. I worked for different companies on Wall Street years ago, and so and I have my own crypto account. I have my business is I'm into a energy worker through massage. One of the things I want to ask when I was listening to the presentation on Lumi, and you were saying one Lumi equals 15.95 cents in US dollars. Does that fluctuate or is that constant?
Katura?
Hello, thank you very much for your question. Right now, it will fluctuate in time once the usage around the world increases and our need for the energy increases. So at the moment, it will be constant because we've just launched it and it's in circulation now. But as time goes on and we need more energy and the usage becomes more worldwide, we do expect it to actually increase. Yes.
And I just and no question, if you don't mind. Do you see this program, like if people, a lot of my friends were moving to Africa and we want to be in both places, will it be possible to buy Lumi to purchase land or real estate in different countries in Africa?
Again, yes. Well, again, what we are doing with the kingdoms, as we said, the kingdoms on the continent are using the Lumi for economic development. And where we as the state have our projects on the continent, our Lumi cities, our Lumi cities will be built with the Lumi. So yes, this is where we are going in that everything that we do in terms of development on the continent and in the diaspora, as a matter of fact, the Lumi is our currency. That is the data currency of Echo 6 and of the state, and that is what we'll be using for economic development. And so even in remunerating our people for work, they will be paid and remunerated in Lumi.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. We will be coming, someone asked if we will be going through the questions in the chat box, and we will. I'm going to let Philippe, who's got his hands up, ask a question, and I'll have a look through the chat box and see what questions are in there. Okay, thank you. Philippe.
Thank you, Brother Chair. A quick question, and this is in relationship to some of the discussion that's been happening in the chat. First of all protocols observed, Prime Minister, Vice Prime Ministers, and Honorable Ambassadors, or Excellencies. The point was made by Brother Gerald Ramdeen of LuxCorp, and I'm just trying to reiterate it so that it's addressed directly. Whether it's crypto, digital, or fiat currencies, they all, in today's world, rely on databases, surveys, communication networks, and connecting to remote servers and resources that we do not control. We, as African people of African descent, do not control. And therefore, we cannot afford to be oblivious or ignorant of and dependent upon, in a new dispensation, the reset, a cloud platform that is owned and controlled by the very telecolonialists who have kept us bound in dependency and from being able to assert our sovereignty. And even though it's a difficult and tangled issue, most of us are using this platform and none of us control it. None of us control who's listening to it or what they do with the information after they harvest it. And that's not conspiracy theory, that is public knowledge. So I'm simply saying it so that we dig deeper, that we think more deeply about controlling the ecosystem that we are creating necessarily in order to safeguard the longevity and integrity of the Lumi. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippe.
Dr. Linus, did you wish to take that observation and question? Dr. Linus? Or if Dr. Linus is not with us, can Servias perhaps answer Felipe?
Okay. Servias?
Greetings. Thank you and welcome everyone. Firstly, let me respond to a question where someone was asking about security. Yes, the Swifin platform is very secure. And due to security reasons, we cannot disclose all the security features that are there, but it is very secure. And it's not housed on one platform, but on different platforms for security reasons. In addition to what my brother Felipe said, yes, it is true. We need to be in control of the communication, the platforms that we use. And indeed, on the Swifin platform, there is a communication channel that is there. And you can even send SMSs. You can also set up meetings like we do on Zoom. So you can also get any type of communication that you would require from peer to peer. So yes, we are in control of the communication. Thank you.
Thank you for that reply, Servias.
I can't unmute. Oh, I can unmute myself now.
Oh, okay. You can come in now, Dr. Linus.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Servias. I was struggling to unmute myself, but I couldn't. I take Felipe's point that, of course, we need to look at the cloud infrastructure. We need to own as much of the value chain as much as possible. And I think that's a very good way to go. So let's take that on board and let's begin to explore how we can actually do that end to end in many respects. We do have, as far as the Swifin platform is concerned, I mean, it's now sitting in a private cloud to some extent, but we are open to putting it in an environment that is completely locked up within our own jurisdiction, and no one can ever have access to it and all that. But it is very secure as far as we know for now, and we have end-to-end control of the back-end infrastructure in the sense that they run on servers that we control and they are not on others. But I'm not going to comment any more on the security aspects of it, but it is very secure. And it has been used by major international organizations, including the United Nations at one point in the past.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Linus, for that. Next question from George Mwale. If you can just unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. My question is, I'm actually in Zambia, Lusaka. That's where you're getting me from. My question is, how are you securing the individual loans, you say, from companies or individuals? And this brings to the question of, are you going to be needing security for the loans that individuals will be getting? And are you going to have any monitoring mechanism to see as to whether the funds obtained are being used for the sole purpose of the business plan which a company or individual has applied for? Thank you.
Okay, if I may just comment on that very quickly. At the moment, those loans, the credit line is not the traditional bank loan that you get from your bank manager that will require you to put up collateral, land, property, and all that, which most people may not have. The credit line is designed to kickstart economic activity, to kickstart enterprise, to support everyone without regard to class, And the only understanding is that people need to exercise a certain degree of self-discipline to start building some kind of profile. What I would say is, because the transactions, the platform enables you to make payments and to receive payments back into your account for your services, either the goods or services that you're providing, that will be self-evident. And we would not need to ask anybody to provide bank statements or anything like that. We would go on the merit of the transaction history in your account. Now, if you say that you're selling tomatoes and you haven't listed your products on the web shop, for example, at least we would expect that you will be receiving some payments, which are somewhat in line with what we expect from somebody who is selling tomatoes on a daily basis, depending on the scale of your business. And so historically, there will be an automatic number. We call it a Swiffen score, which will be calculated based purely on your transaction history. So if you take the credit line and decide not to pay back, then when you want to apply for the next tranche, once that calculation is in place, then the system will not allow you to access it. So you can build your profile and improve your profile and be able to access it by making sure that you're getting payments coming back into your account to support the reason that you gave for taking the credit. But one thing that we don't want to do initially is to penalize people who may not have collateral, and therefore collateral is not being requested at this point in time, as far as I know.
Okay. We've got some questions in the chat room about the platform. How safe, we've done that, how safe is the Swiffen platform? Does it use blockchain technology?
It is not running on a blockchain platform at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, blockchains have their advantages and their disadvantages. Some are relatively slow in completing transactions. So if you want to push thousands and millions of transactions, then you might need to look at other alternatives. It may not be accessible to everyone. Remember, we want to drive financial inclusion and really drive access to absolutely everybody, those with sophisticated devices and those without sophisticated devices. So you can just simply use your QR codes and access your services. You can use simple SMS transactions from any mobile device that is connected to any mobile network anywhere. That's the kind of flexibility we're providing. So it is very secure, but it's not running on blockchain.
Okay. These are questions from Eddie. He had quite a few. Does the Central Reserve Bank actually have solar energy reserves? Is that a question for Katora or Katora?
If Chief Samako is on the line, then perhaps it's best for Chief to make a comment on that. But I know that the issuance is based on power purchase agreements and the planned infrastructure construction that is going to be taking place across the African continent. But,
okay.
All right. Let me just come in there. Yes, we have already signed agreements with different technology providers, and also agreements in terms of the provision of solar energy. And not only is it backed just by solar energy, but the gold. We all know where the gold is, and we don't necessarily have to mine it for us to be able to monetize it. So we have abundance of gold in Africa. So the backing is there in terms of the solar energy and the gold. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Servius. Another question, does the AU recognize the Lumi?
I think a more fundamental question is, do we recognize the Lumi and are we going to use it? If the EU recognizes it and we don't still use it, it wouldn't have the desired effect.
Yes.
So it's not so much whether another authority recognizes it. It's been issued by the Central Solar Reserve Bank, which is an autonomous entity, a sovereign state within Akompong, of Akompong. And I don't think we necessarily need to seek approval from somebody outside of the African Union in order to be able to use it. But also, it's now, the Lumi has been adopted as the de facto currency for the African Finance Regulatory Authority and the consequently the African Central Bank, which is responsible for regulating the provision of financial services and banking within the African continent.
In addition to that, Dr. Linus, for money to be called money, it doesn't have to be recognized by anyone else other than the users. There are three conditions. The first one is that it is a medium of exchange. Secondly, it is a unit of account. And then thirdly, it is a store of value. Now, the Lumi qualifies for all these three conditions. And so for that reason, it is money and we can use it. Thank you.
Thank you, Servius, for that.
Thank you.
And the final question from Eddie. Currently the app is on the Android. Are there any plans of extending it to iOS?
That is an absolute yes. We already have the iOS version. It just needs to be loaded onto the app store. It should be coming anytime soon.
Okay. Okay, we've got a question from Toisin from Lesotho.
Yes, thank you.
Please correct me if I've mispronounced your name.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
We can.
My question is on the presentation of the courses. There were courses for buying, a course for selling. Are these just courses for using the platform purely because it's a pure play platform, like it's online? So do you offer courses on how to use it? Is it such courses?
Theo, that's a question for you about the courses on the platform. If you can unmute.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, what was the question?
The presentation that was made about how you can utilize the platform. You can buy clothes, you can buy biodegradable stuff, you can buy a lot of things or sell a lot of things. And I kept hearing the word come out of courses. There's a course for buying, there's a course for selling, there's a course for interacting. Are these courses to teach you how to use the platform, or for us as maybe, let's say I can use a buying and selling or pure play platform? Is it a course that I can take and go and teach my community on the ground that perhaps have limited knowledge on how to use computers or how to engage in digital platforms like this?
The answer is yes.
Theo, you are very faint.
I can't hear you properly.
Yeah.
No, if you go to LumiCourses.com, every day we're having new.
Can anybody hear him? We can't hear you.
Oh, no, he's very faint.
You're very faint, Theo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see.
Yeah, you
come closer to the mic.
Come closer to the mic or uncover your mic.
I'm close to the mic.
Okay, it sounds better now.
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Better now. Yes, Theo.
That's better, Theo.
Yeah, it's better now, Theo. Maybe whilst we are waiting for Theo to respond, my brother from Lesotho, do you have any courses that you can put? Because we have a marketplace where you can showcase whatever you have, whether it's products or services. Maybe that's one of the features that are on the platform that you can utilize.
Yes, I actually do. I was quite embarrassed when everybody started raising their hands that they have online businesses. I have a bricks and mortar business. I haven't put it online yet, but what I do have is I have digital platforms such as your average social media platforms, like accounts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where I advertise my products. The only thing that's there is how you can connect to me. Now, I'm planning to actually develop or open a digital shop where it's pure play, where people can buy. So I want to use this platform and use the Lumi to be the exchange currency on that platform. Hence,
that's great.
Hence, I was asking if the courses are there to actually teach you how to. Yes.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
And every day I'm putting more courses online. LumiCourses.com. 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 Every day there's at least 2 or 3 new courses there. And if you need something special, just send us a little note and we will add those information for you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. That's pretty much my question for today.
Okay,
I'd also like to add that within the Swift platform itself, there is a web shop that provides an opportunity for all merchants, all individuals to actually have an online digital marketplace footprint immediately without any capital expenditure of any kind. And that automatically integrates with your account so that you can receive payments from day one. So from the time you list the first product, somebody can actually place an order and pay you, and the money will go straight into your Swift account.
Okay. Oh, pardon if I may, just one last one, especially on the account. Now let's say I've opened my account. Is it possible for me to, let's say I somehow managed to get my hands on $1,000 US? Is it allowed, or is it possible for me to transact that $1,000 US into my Lumi account and convert it into Lumi? Or am I just going to earn, is it only Lumi that's earned into that account?
Lumi is one of the currencies that's available on the platform. We actually work with various financial institutions in different jurisdictions. So if there is a financial institution in Zambia, for example, then we would offer Zambia. In fact, we are onboarding one in Zambia at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody got any other questions, or I'll go to the chat box because I'm scrolling through. Dr. Linus, have you provided links in the chat box to the Swift platform? That's what someone's just asked.
Yes, I can put that now.
It's in there. I'm sure you've put it in there, but maybe they've missed it on the.
I posted the videos, but I'll also post the links again.
Okay, maybe whilst we are waiting for you to get another question, let me just share my experience briefly. I was contacted by a team at about midnight from Zim. They had registered and they wanted to cancel their accounts. And then I said, let's talk tomorrow. Then when I started talking to them, I realized that someone had actually told them that this Lumi is satanic. Then I took them through the journey to say, when you receive your fiat money, do you track and ask where that originated from? yeah, now you are receiving the Lumi, and someone has just told you that it's not Christian-like. What evidence do you have for you to say that? And then eventually they decided not to cancel their accounts. So there's a lot of misconception when it comes to the Lumi. So you need to understand it before you say whatever you can say or accept whatever another one says. I just wanted to share that experience.
Thank you for that, Servius. Question from Eliyahu Ben Yisrael. If you unmute your mic, sir.
Blessings, everyone. A friend actually in Ghana just sent me this link. And so I'm calling from Barbados. This is in the Caribbean. I've got a number of people who are interested, who are part of our community. Does the currency offering, would it include us? That's essentially my question.
Would it include you? You're part of the diaspora?
Right. Well, I'm not too sure exactly. This is the first time I'm on. I've not gotten a lot of information.
Yes.
So I'm
yes.
just asking if it would include us and, you know, what the implications are. I imagine there must be some link or something I can go to that give me more information on that.
So yeah, Mr. Ben Yisrael, thank you very much for your question. I'm going to put in the chat the websites where you can get all the information you need. And also just to let you know that the Lumi is available to every African in the diaspora and every African on the continent 18 years and above. So I'm going to put in the websites where you can research for more information. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Have you got any a follow-up from that?
No, that's good. I would like to be able to gather as much information as I can. What I was made to understand is that there is there's a date on the 28th or something where something closes. But I imagine that if there is, then that would probably be on the website that's going to be put up.
Yeah, that's on the 28th of every month. A stimulus are paid into your digital wallet once you've signed up for it. That's what you must probably have heard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. For the next
Thank you very much.
For the next 3 years.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question, Pastor E. You can unmute your mic.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. Thank you. The name is Pastor Elad Sauka. Thank you for having me on close. I'm talking from Zimbabwe, and I'm happy that my brother was just on, Servius Majetes. Thank you for the contribution. In fact, that actually triggered me to come in when he was remarking about the Zimbabwean issue. It's basically what we have. It's this is pessimism and the negativity being peddled by other people that do not want to witness. It's a nation that is bogged with this stigmatization that we need to unpack and undo. And I think the only other dimension that we have to take within Zimbabwe, and all those, I've seen some leaders already on the platform, that we need actually to demystify the thinking that is going through around this. I also had a similar encounter in the morning with a couple of people who then said Lumi is a shortcut for Illuminati. These are the people who are funding and sponsoring this money. How could you get free money just sent through into your account? So what basically we are encouraging in Zimbabwe, we need to embark on an extensive training program and even hold workshops within the country to help our people understand, because it's quite a problem. As much as when you allude to the fact that they're being helped, and this is a stimulus package that is trying to mitigate against the COVID and the effects of COVID for the next 3 years, they're failing to understand some of them. But it's as an encouragement, and I'll be very keen to have any other material that we might have to support our training. We want to evolve in the country to ensure that we reach out to our people, demystify their thinking, so that they become participants in this new world, with new order that has come in the Eco 6, with the advent of the Eco 6 arrangement. That's my contribution. I'm just echoing what Majete said, that we are in that space where people really need to be educated, and I think that is the setback in Zimbabwe, but we'll try our best as much as we can so that we get them off the grid of thinking negatively. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Pastor E. Mike, Larry, if you unmic and ask your question, please. Unmute your mic.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Echo.
Yeah, let me turn off. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Thank you.
Your question?
Afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Larry from Jamaica. I just wanted to add a contribution in a question format. I was sending the question in the question area, but I don't think you have seen it. And the question I had there was, do we have a registrar of company for Eco 6? And that's my question. Do we have a registrar of company for Eco 6?
A registrar of a company.
Thank you, Mike, Larry. We don't have a registrar of companies that signs up and registers company. Eco 6 is a secretariat that is the administrative and legal face of the economic community, which is the treaty member states of the 6th region. So at the moment, no, we don't have a registrar of companies because the secretariat specifically looks after the treaty member states. We'll probably have to look at some other body to facilitate that, but that's a very good and interesting question. And I think that is something that we could certainly look at going forward. So thank you very much for that question.
Yes, and just to add to it, that the reason why I asked that question is because I had a group of persons who have new concepts, new ideas, and honestly, they just don't trust the country that they reside in to register all these concepts and business to evolve. So when I brought them to this platform about the Lumi and its concepts and Eco 6, this was one of the raising questions somebody asked me to throw at Eco 6 to say, hey, this is something that we should probably look into to make sure that we can protect our brothers and sisters, patents, copyright laws, all of those stuff, because that's where we have the real challenge with our work and our values as a people.
Yes, thank you very much for that, and that's a very good question, and certainly that's something for us to look into in the very near future. Thank you, Mike, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions? Any other questions before we call in? Is Prime Minister still here? Let me have a look. To close up the meeting, if there aren't any other questions. Vice Prime Minister, would you close the meeting for us?
If I may, before, just not to interrupt or to be, we released a track yesterday, and a Lumi track yesterday was released. It's also digitally released on all other major platforms in terms of digital platform where music is concerned. This track was designed specifically for the Lumi and its journey. And I don't know if it would be appropriate, but I would love to share the track with you guys. I do it. I'll wait until the Prime Minister have his say, and then I'll return. I yield the floor.
Okay.
I have a question. With Mr. Philip Dennis. I have a question. I think is even for you and the Prime Minister and the Vice Prime Minister. I am Ivan Poli, the Vice President of the Parliament for South America, and I have to go to the TV here in Brazil to tell about the Lumi, to tell about the stimulus. I am providing to go to the TV, but I would like to know if the SOAS is previewing to launch a big global mass media campaign about the Lumi and when it will be.
Ivan, Katora, do you want to take that?
Yeah, thank you, Ivan, and thank you, our Vice President of Parliament in Brazil. Thank you so much. Yes, of course, we are going to have a mass campaign. We're actually getting all our media team together. Of course, with all our radio, like Errol Grant, who's in the room, all the different radio stations, media, television, we are all bringing them together. We've actually got a media group where we are going to have a global wide release of the Lumi, but also the ID cards for the economic community as well. So we have a lot of work to do, but yes, we are going to do it. And we're just getting all our media team together to actually put everything together. Even Andrea is involved. So we have a lot of media team that we need to organize and have a massive release. So yes, we are. And thank you very much. And of course, you will be part of that, Ivan. So thank you very much for your question.
Thank you, dear Mrs. Mina, because people here in Brazil are telling me nobody knows here in the country, and we have 100 million of people that can do the digital wallet. We are losing time. People are losing the benefits. Because here in Brazil, we had stimulus of the government, but it's finished now. And the population is finished, and it was just 6 months. And our benefit, it will be 3 years to the Afro-descent population. So our benefit will be more powerful. So it must be spread all around the country.
Yes, thank you, Ivan. And of course, we have to also do the media in terms of the different languages. Of course, Portuguese, Spanish, French. So yes, even in our media, we need to think about the language as well. So obviously, we are going to be working with you as our Vice President of Parliament in terms of our media campaign. So thank you, Ivan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Minister. Thank you,
Ivan, I'll still be contacting you for translation into Portuguese of the manuals and the training material. So
yes, because I need
the
tutorial to go to the TV, the tutorial in Portuguese to go to the TV, because people, you need to consult some things to do their digital wallets after I go to the TV.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's preview. I go to the TV next month, to the end of next month, to start of April.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There's a mess. Is Richard Kwa still on the call? Because I've got a message in the chat that said that he's left us several questions, but I can't see it in the chat. There's a lot of stuff in the chat, so if I've missed it out, if he's here, he can ask the questions. If not, we're going to bring the Prime Minister on to make the close, and there won't be any questions after the Prime Minister closes. That will be it.
Sorry, Dennis. There's one that he said, if I need to purchase a big amount of Lumi,
okay.
With which currency will I pay, and why is it that if I have excess Lumi, I cannot exchange with that very currency if there is any? Maybe Dr. Linus, would you like to respond?
Dr. Linus, are you still online?
I can see him. Maybe, can he unmute himself?
Yes, he can.
Okay. All right.
Well, he should be able to. So let me.
All right. Whilst we are waiting for him, let me quickly respond to that. In terms of the conversion, at the moment, we are not encouraging any conversion. However, as we start trading, merchants or members, users will actually be looking for the Lumi. So very soon this will happen. But at the moment, we are not encouraging conversion, but we encourage the use of the Lumi within our ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Servius. Okay, Prime Minister.
Yes.
Would you like to make the close now? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, dear Minister.
Yes.
So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind all of us where we are coming from. We have always been in different kinds of businesses. But at the time of slavery, we were not the merchants, we were the merchandise, the commodity. If you think of Wall Street, for example, Wall Street is well known for being the heart of global capitalism. Why is it called Wall Street? Because the colons built a wall to prevent them from being attacked by the Native Americans, because they believed that they were attacked while they were in fact attacking the native people. So they built a barrier. So Wall Street is based on, the war against the native people. And that was the external attack in their eyes, in the eyes of the colons. But they were also believing that they were threatened from an internal population, which was the people of African descent. And Wall Street was a market, a slave market. So we were part of this business, but as I said, as a merchandise. So Wall Street is based on two systems of colonization: slavery for the African people being sold in these markets, and genocide of the native people being killed out of the wall, on the other side of the wall. So in Wall Street in itself, you've got the epitome of these two phenomena: genocide of the native people, slavery against the people of African descent. That is the base of the wealth of Wall Street. And that is how Wall Street built its fortune. To give you also another perspective on where we're coming from, at the beginning of the 20th century, when slavery was finally abolished, at a time of segregation, the Black people in the United States said, we need to develop ourselves. They said, we are going to create our own network, our own system. And in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they created their Black Wall Street. That was in 1921. In 1921, in Black Wall Street, you've got a Black bank, a Black-owned bank, a Black-owned hospital, more than 300 businesses, Black-owned businesses. Many people would have even a piano in their house. Some white people were very offended because they didn't have any piano at home. So how dare these Black people have this piano at home? So finally, that story ended in 2021 when all the people, the white people from the area, decided to organize a massacre. They even sent the army and some planes to attack and destroy the Black Wall streets. They put some bombs. There was no war. well, it was a war against black people, but officially there was no war. But they sent the army, they sent the planes, they sent the bombs, and they destroyed the Black Wall Street. It was 100 years ago, and the commemoration will happen on May the 31st and June the 1st. We're going to be part of this. We're going to rebuild Black Wall Street. That is one of the many Lumi cities we want to rebuild or build. That is very important. I'm saying that because we need to remember where we're coming from. It's not the first attempt to build something in terms of economy. Many people before us tried, and we are continuing the work. Even if a city was destroyed, it's going to be rebuilt. Even if people try to sell us, we're going to make our own business. There are challenges, there are dangers, there are enemies, but we are there. We are surviving. We are even thriving. So we can see all the way that has been achieved, all the steps, you know, from being sold, from making our Black Wall Street, being destroyed, rebuilding Black Wall Street, and now having our own currency, which we had in the past. In the past in Africa, people had their currencies, whatever the names. So it's not new. We are continuing the process. And even when people want to stop us, we are still continuing. We are still rising. We are still thriving. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Prime Minister, for that closing. I think we're going to end with some music. Mike, I hope you're all queued up because I'm going to unmute you now so that we can listen to the new Lumi mix. Or you ready, Mike?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay. We're ready.
Can I share my screen? Thank you.
Yeah, the screen's there for you to share.
Shoot about the money. Study to show yourself approved. You know what I mean? You want the truth? Make sure you can handle the truth. Shoot about the money. Telling you the truth about the money. Yeah. You want to shoot for the money? Only if you know the truth, man. Okay. Shit. In the 1940s, money and gold were a couple. Everything did that work well until America start hustling. The other countries start shuffling, demanding back them gold on the double. Now in a 1971, President Nixon made the money and the gold decouple now. Them money no back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people, now finally the truth has been told. Them make a fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi we spending, backed by renewable energy. Lumi, tell you about the Lumi. It's not a fiat, nor a cryptocurrency. It's underwritten by 100 kilowatt hours of solar energy. Shit, convertible to 4 grains of gold. Wait, 0.2592 grams. Now a 15.96 US equal to 1. So the money no back to buy nothing, but it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi me spending, backed by renewable energy. Shit, I was chosen to shine the light bright on the chosen ones. Yeah, I ain't from the west, from the south, and from the east, man. Africa are not Rome. Me no need no US, me no need no pound. The Lumi dollars put diamonds on the crown. I don't give a damn who on the throne, cause I'm not small, I'm fully grown. Hey, the money no back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people, now finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi we spending, backed by renewable energy. Them money no back to buy nothing, used to be back to buy gold. They keep lying to the people, the finally the truth has been told. We know our history. They make a fiat currency. That's history. No transparency. No, a Lumi was spending. Lumi. Cheer.
That was excellent. Everybody put your videos on. Give Mike a round of applause. This is the sort of thing that we need to do to promote the Lumi. Thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. You can unmute yourselves if you can. Let's hear it. Let me see. Unmute yourselves. And as we leave.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, Mike. That's excellent. Excellent.
Nice, brother. Very nice. Very nice.
Praises goes to the artist. His name is Genuine.
Great.
Our praises go to the artist Genuine. I reached out to him about, let's say, a month now and spoke to him about the concept of the business. He was one of the first persons to sign up with me on the platform. I spoke to him about the concept, shared some videos with him, and asked him to construct the sound. He did. And yesterday we launched it on our Lumi Summit for the South American summit that we had yesterday. That was done in 2 different languages, English and Spanish. So the track is also available. He also wants to have it available in Lumi, 0.25 Lumi for the track, but he also wants to have it used as the promotional song for the Lumi, to get the Lumi out there through the different mediums of radio and all that marketing structure that we need to create to get the Lumi out there. I mean, I've always said that music is always and must be seen as one of the most powerful tools we have as a people, and having our children singing these songs will definitely have this going on for 100 years to 200 years. And that's my take. Thanks, everybody. I'll make sure I pass the information.
Thank you. That's great.
That was excellent.
Excellent. Excellent.
Respect, Mike.
Thanks for the history lessons, Prime
Thank you very much.
That was so brilliant and kind of
no retreat, no surrender.
Very creative, very creative.
Okay. All right. Good evening and good night or good day to you all. We've got another.
Good moderator, Dennis.
Thank you. We've got another meeting next week. That's for the Pan-African. Is that right? Katora, can you correct me?
Yes, the Pan-African Organization Summit next week, Wednesday. Yes.
Yep, and Business Summit the week after. So until then, everybody have a wonderful week and keep.
Are we all invited for next week's meeting?
Sorry?
Are we all invited to next week's meeting, the Pan-African?
Of course, every meeting. If you want to hear some more and get more illumination, please.
Yeah, we need to definitely get these numbers ramped up.
Please. On the other platform for a very long time before we were shared the link. Could it be that at least the new platform is shared early enough so that we don't go there wasting time? Thank you.
Okay, we'll do. We'll do. All right.
Thank
you. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Bye.
God bless.
Okay, Dennis, take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Lunis.
Thank you.